Good morning. Today is, oh my God, August 7th, 2024. I'm going to leave a little time for that to sink in. Not only are the months just jumping, but our own timeline. Go back to the day that you were born, and now to August 2024. Decades ago, this seemed like so far in the future, and you didn't know then what you know now. And that you are ratcheting up to become not the physical being that you thought you were. And that it's truly required to let go of all the way of thinking and being up to this moment. This is a courageous path. This is a tall order. Sometimes I'll say to Spirit, so what do you think I am? Am Joan of Arc? And they say, at least. So take a deep breath, and we begin by congratulating ourselves and knowing that there is strength in circling up, because just being here and speaking and letting our energy fields overlap, those that are on the call and those that will listen in later, we are helping each other remember that we were born into this earth, but that's not our job to live and to maintain and to be an earthling the way that we were trained by our parents and school and the society. That truly we signed up to be conscious, to be a little bit above it, to be neutral, and to witness and behold what is occurring as we hold the highest vibrational alignment that our core never lost. So that's just a little bit of introduction of what I was thinking we might talk about today before we drop in. And here's the topic. I went in the hot tub and I realized we're always chasing ourselves. The next thing to do, our to-do list, our mentally oriented to-do list, is an immense distraction, immense, from just being. So Spirit said, well, Jan, maybe you could talk about it, what it means to be versus do. And I've talked about this before, and I say, well, it's a balance. Do, be, do, be, do, be, do, be, do, right? Spirit said, no. The new order of the day is in your beingness. Your will chooses, and you do that. And the difference is, we have frequently, predominantly gone on automatic when there's things to do. Have you ever noticed, okay, you've got your to-do list, you procrastinate, suddenly you start doing it, and someone says, hi, or this or that. It bursts that bubble because that doing is often so mental and so circumscribed, and it's the smallest part of yourself. And what Spirit is saying, have the being direct the doing. Have your beingness and your sense of self permeate, be with the doer. And I know you're thinking, oh my goodness, okay. It's not two bubbles anymore. The activity, doer, exhausted the list. And the being one, oh no. It is for the circles to exist, the beingness to permeate all the doing. How does that show up different? It shows up that you're doing things with no resistance, no struggle, no checking off the trigger emotional lists of, can I do this? Is this the right thing to do? No, when you've done your homework, when you've meditated first, and you are one with yourself, and you are being into that core vibration of knowing and connection of who you are, what your mission is, let that override and dominate the doing part, which is usually based in fear to keep us safe. I'll just keep my blinders on, and I'll just do this, and I'll steer here. And that's why we have a social system full of people in their little bubbles who can't see the big picture, can't access truth, and are living in fear and bubbling up with other people living in small worlds, small houses. And you are being called to create earth as the house of God, to be present in all that it offers: abundance, resources, flowing friends with that figure 8 of other people who are in their beingness and doing from that. And sometimes people tell me, well, I'm not meeting the right people, or even my own friends, my partners, I'm not sure. Well, guess what? You're half of that infinity figure 8. And through resonance and law of attraction, let's ask ourselves, what percent are you spending in just the doing in your life? What percent are you in just the being in your life? Now, see, this is a trick question because I'm already pointing out that that doing part is not really connecting people. And the being part is the part that allows you to connect with people. So we can't just sit around and meditate all day. So the idea is how to fuse your thinking, your feeling, your will, your choosing activity, so that your resonant field is bright and shiny and present, and never just on that mental trajectory that actually pushes away other people. It's like, oh, look at that person. Zzz. So we must ground and always begin with nothingness so we can see the truth of our beingness. Who are we? Where are we from? What are we about? What is our core signature? Where are we from? I love that topic because a lot of people, I know what level of their spiritual awakening is. If they say, what do you mean? Michigan? No. What type of being are you at your core when you dropped into earth to incarnate in this human cellular realm? Some of us know. That's a big part of our path, because that upper conscious being that came and incarnated into this being is such a vast part of who you really are and your toolkit and the way you operate resonantly with other people and other things. I'll give you an example. Just imagine you're from the angelic realm, came out of a cloud. That's your true home family. Just imagine for a minute. What that means is you're super sensitive. It means you're like a sponge, a softie, a marshmallow. And you take people's feelings in and you transmute it through music or art or feelings and create something that is less dense. If you are from a galactic realm of another specific planet that has toolkits and certain realms, like for instance Sirius, now we're upping this to Hopefully people not dropping off saying, weird. If you're a galactic being, you're sharp, you think quick, you're not real soft. You're not that big, huggy, warm person. So these are archetypes that humans are just beginning to imagine, recognize, and to honor. We're not quite there yet, but the inner circles of people who meditate and say, who am I? Where am I from? And why am I here at this time of such tremendous change for Earth? And we're realizing that we are from other places and that we are a team and we're meeting each other. And if you are an angel, you particularly love meeting other angels because there's a resonance and excitement of co-creation. But yet we still have this Earth overlay of this doingness, this tension, these long lists, is frazzled of the Earth list of doing. Now let's admit it, some things you can't get away from doing. But it's how we do them and the way we're feeling. There's the resistance way with creating cortisol and tension, and there's that being and doing synthesis of moving through life with the instant prioritizing of what is worth doing, who is worth being with, what lands for you is easily recognized by my heart sings when I think of doing this. I'm drawn to this. I want to do it. Elevation, transformation, the being and the doing are mirroring within you at last. Modern romantics things say, you complete me. I'm completely one with you. The trajectory is for each of us to be fully married, our doing, our receiving, our masculine, feminine, so that we are whole, autonomous, sovereign beings, radiating love and receiving love, and not creating old toxic formulas to make things work with two people under a roof, blah, blah, blah. So one of the reasons I've been thinking about this, and we will drop into a meditation, but I want to give the full picture. Oh, look, a rainbow, the full cupola of what I'm talking about, is I was meditating and Spirit said, new picture. Humans change by pictures, okay? We need pathways. In the last few years, I've been very cognizant that there is a higher being, consciousness. Her name is SOAR, actually. And she slid down, was born through this family, and had experiences to help women find their voice. But that wasn't her first carnation. So me, Jan, I am maybe, let's just imagine the 400th incarnation of Solara, and each life learning different aspects of truth, beauty, love, goodness, omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotence, okay? Those are the particles of enlightenment. This time I think I chose truth, helping women speak truth. But that's not the point of this talk. So here's Solara. Here is Earth. And here I am on this timeline, 400th. And this would be entering a state of mastery in my consciousness, 400, if I learned my lessons. So here's Solara. There is our very first, for many of us, incarnation on earth as divine beings. That you came, feel this on, see if you get a truth bump, that you were one of the original volunteers to come and to help create a beautiful new planet where free will would guide activity. Feel that. Were you in Lemuria, Atlantis, some of the earlier civilizations? So Spirit showed me, it said, okay, here you are. Let's just say in heaven, it's a nebulous term. And your first incarnation, you're here to, like a pioneer, to settle Earth. And you're a 12 feet tall, diaphanous being who just radiated pure love and color and light. They said, Jan, this is your new task if you so choose to accept it. Your task is to take this incarnation where you're fully embroiled with human foibles, understanding, compassion. But what if you took Jan, now August 7, 2024, and the original incarnation of the core being that you are, and what if you fuse the two and lower vibrations go to higher vibrations? In other words, become the transparent, all-knowing, full of joy, fearless entity, being consciousness of my first incarnation here. They said, we're going to set you on a timeline for 1 week. And I would check in, I'd say, oh, I'm moving backwards. And as we move backwards, the archangels help clear up decades, lifetimes, cycles of issues until I could rest metaphorically. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying I made this intention to land into the full beingness, unchanged from heaven to earth, unchanged from heaven to earth. That's today's meditation. We're going to take you back from August 7th to your very first pure, heavenly, baby, pure self that landed here. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, I feel like I'm leading us on a spaceship Merkaba adventure. If you so choose, fasten your seatbelt. Take a breath through your nose and out through your mouth, because in this near future, you will see things as they actually are and occurred in a time-space continuum as never before. And it's so sweet how courageous you are and were to sign up for this. But it's time to get real and see the truth of it and let the lower stuff go. You are sitting in your throne. August 7th, 2024. We begin to clear our minds of any thoughts about this, resistances, or desires. We're simply taking our attention into our sacred heart, and we are trying on this option, opportunity, or choice to unwind our timeline back to our first pure, unadulterated, heavenly self, landing here on earth, eyes wide open. So from where you're at, sitting in this nice soft bed on this throne, today's vantage point, imagine a beautiful golden thread line. It's bigger than a thread, 5 inches wide gold cord that connects all of your lifetimes. And we must be able to feel and land into the actual starting point of your incarnations on earth. So go ahead and do that and feel it and land. And notice how that feels. Your first rodeo here on earth. You just arrived. You're fresh from your planet. This is before the fall from grace, so you're wide awake. Your being and doing is fused, a synthesis of pure light, co-creations for beauty and love and joy. Feel this truth radiate in your heart and let it be in this moment in your present physical body a new dominant frequency. Feel it. Feel it radiate. For we ask and intend to set this sacred space of your first incarnation fully within your body, your heart, and your soul now. We have to see it and feel it to believe it. That's kind of part of the human psyche. That is why we're going to this beautiful place for this spark of remembrance. So now we're going to travel back up through. Ask Spirit, how many times have I been here? In the civil wars, with the dinosaurs. You might even been an ant or a horse. How many incarnations have you visited this beautiful planet to gather your toolkit, your knowledge, your information, to be the change agent that you are here today? We're not forgetting anything. We're not leaving it. We're just refining, retuning, and upgrading and remembering. So come on back up and sit in your August 7, 2024 throne, but you're still connected to your first incarnation. Just surprised, guess what? You were never disconnected from that. And that being in your first incarnation reflects the light, the love of God. It is a God, goddess, creative being. The ability to create by thoughts and being and doing in aligned with divine principles of creation. That's what we're taking back today. For you to remember that you hold within your being the divine principles and knowledge and remembrance of co-creating on this earth today, August 7th, new divine alignments. Even though you might not see evidence of it, or people might not be talking about, you know what to do. And you will meet other people, this figure eight infinity, and you will team up with them. Become cosmic cowgirls, cosmic cowboys together here on earth. So take a breath and open your crown chakra right now and receive the full light of yourself at source as you originally were conceived. And this, again, is just a vision. So if you think you're an angel, imagine your angel consciousness, vibrational harmonic profile in heaven, beaming down onto your crown chakra, burning off, releasing and letting go hundreds and hundreds of incarnation and what that meant of what you dragged around, your baggage for many lifetimes, that now is time to let go because it no longer serves you. You know enough. It's time to remember the magic now. The training is over. You graduated. It's time to use the magic with other awakening people joyfully. So feel this now. Feel your higher consciousness self, and give it a name, this person, entity, whatever. All different forms consciousnesses come in, but we do know you're in this physical body, it has a name, was born here, and let that energy permeate you. So now you see you are bathed in the dominant frequency of your higher self from where you're from, and you also are feeling the dominant frequency of your first pure incarnation. So you've got all this repatterning, revibrating, being done right now. Let's go a little further. Right now, here in this moment, we're going to go back a decade, and we are going to ask the angelic and the helper spiritual beings, call in whoever you want, call in your spirit guides, to begin to cut all the cords of pain, confusion, betrayal, disappointment. It's not going to serve you moving forward. We must be free. We must be guided by the fusion of doing and being that will set a new model for humans, a potential to be happy and to do things, to get things done, to earn money, create beauty, create castles, communities, cities of light. So take a deep breath and now go, well, let's go to your incarnation of this birth in this lifetime. Right when you first came out of that canal, bright lights. We ask and intend to remove any vibrational particles of human creation, of misery that no longer serve us, and just blow it away. Blow it out of the field. Like blowing a bubble. Just blow it away and let it pop. Done. We are done with trauma. Beautiful. Okay, now go back to the next incarnation being born and erase that lifetime. Some of us have such big consciousnesses, we can have 3 incarnations at once. That's called parallel realities. That's another class. Keep erasing and moving back. Let's imagine that you are half finished with your timeline. It's different for each of us. And now we are done with 3/4 of our timeline. Why? Because it's a huge vacuum. We've got heaven helping us, heaven's helpers, angels, divine beings. Because we guided, because we asked, and we intended for it to be so. And moving forward, we're truly getting that when we ask and when we intend, it is so. Because it's in alignment with the new brighter world, free of ego, free of fear, fear of control, fear of stickiness. So let's go all the way back now to our first original pure incarnation. And guess what? Game over. Free. Imagine you are sitting in this throne, August 7, 2024, and now I want you to turn your body and I want you to look in the eye of the being, the first creation of the consciousness that you both are. Look into the eyes of this being and allow yourself to be one, because you are one. You're letting the senseless, earth-anchored doing go, which is exhausting, using up all those resources, and you're entering a new state of beingness, of time and space, where there's time for everything, because it's a divine order. It's expanded, it's joyful, it's peaceful. And the doing, the moving of your hands, of planting flowers or creating food or pouring wine or just beholding a scene is a blissful moment connected to the next blissful moment, because the movement and the beingness are one, fully fused with what? The Creator senses and feels every single moment. Anything is possible. I am here to create beauty, divine order, love, goodness, and I am expanding into omniscience. I understand and I'm connected to all that is. And in this realm, I am holding with the Creator the wand of omnipotence, to have power, to recreate Earth in the image of heaven, working with higher vibrational alignments. So just as I'm speaking, all this is falling into your body and remembering, and I'm seeing beautiful rainbow prismatic energies line up precisely in each of our energy fields. Feel your pineal gland opening, expanding, and spinning. Being and doing. We're going to have to create a name because the two are separate in our minds. Bedouing. No, we're going to think of a fun word. I'll let you think of your word. Text it to me. But take a breath, because we are now that beingness, that consciousness of divine light and love and ability to co-create in this thicker realm. So feel the joy. Feel there's no stress to that. Because guess what? This magic wand of remembrance that you're co-creating, you can morph time. I've often told stories of the 5 tasks that I did in 10 minutes, which is unthinkable. You have the ability to stretch the time-space continuum at will as you're in alignment with divine presence. That's it. We'll say the doing and the being. We'll put it in the air, married, infused, divine presence. Take a deep breath and let your heart open and feel the balancing within yourself, the vertical, the horizontal balancing. Energies of your body balancing, coming out of any misalignments, and you are retuning to your divine self. It's always been watching over you, present in heaven. It's your umbilical cord to each incarnation, and your very first incarnation here. And we've closed the gap so that we can be in our presence, in our oneness, in our seat of divine co-creation. Oh, that was beautiful. I felt in my base chakra almost like an opening like this, like a beautiful Vesica Pisces. We open that up because truly when we are in this alignment, in the middle of that opens up, and there is a Vesica Pisces of that oneness that is a void that creates sense of stillness. Anything is possible. It's truly the void, the still point. And we can access that and allow more oxygen to come into our body. Let our neurotransmitters relax. It's very invigorating, revitalizing, and restful all at once. Beautiful. So this meditation of achieving divine presence by being and doing, fusing together, will be on the website in a few hours. The website is soundandlighthealingarts.com. Just look for Wednesday morning meditations, and I'll see you next week at 9 a.m. I'm going to turn the recording off right now and see if any of the people present here in community would like to share or talk.